Welcome to the KEbnY video show, the place and platform for indie creatives. I'm your host, Kenny Moore. This is a choir music episode. My guest has a new single out with his choir, but before we start the show, would you do two things for me? First, go like and subscribe to the Minds of Creativity Facebook page and YouTube channel so you can check out the rest of the content and get alerts when new shows are available. Second, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Coach_ANY, KENY on X, TikTok, and Instagram so you can check out other episodes of the show and keep up with the rest of the stuff I'm doing. All right, my guest is ready. I'm ready, so let's start the show. Before my guest comes on to talk about his new single, let's watch a clip of him in the choir. Here's Pastor David Wright and New York Fellowship Mass Choir with Who's on the Lord's Side on the KEbnY video show.
We're going to take it on out to the drive. We ain't got that much time, but listen, get up! If you're on the Lord's side, everybody say, if you're on the Lord, get on up! Why did they put you? Why did we want you to? Get on up! Get up! If you're on, get on up! If you're on the Lord's side, I said, have you been good to you? Can He bring you through? I said, can He bring you right? Something you can ever receive. Get on up now. If you're on the Lord's side, you've been down too long. You've been down too long. Get on up. Get on up. I said the Lord is able. No matter whatever you're going through. I said the Lord will bring you through. The Lord is able to take you from that.
Now joining me is Pastor David Wright. He's a songwriter, producer, and record label founder from the Brooklyn, New York area. He has continued the musical and ministry legacy of his legendary father, the late Reverend Timothy Wright, with his church and with the New York Fellowship Mass Choir, who is celebrating their 30th anniversary. That was a new single. His name is Jesus, that is out now. So let's bring him on and talk about it. Pastor, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on. How you doing?
What's up, Brother Kenny? I'm so glad to be here with you, man.
Likewise, man. Honor and a privilege. So listen, man, the first time I have people on the show, I always ask them this question because it's always interesting to see what the response is. And the question is this. Tell me your earliest memory of the moment you fell in love with music.
Oh, my earliest memory of the moment I fell in love with music, I had to be 5 years old. And I remember listening to one of my father's songs called Count Your Blessings. And I didn't know nothing about playing no piano or nothing, but I just sat there at the piano and I was able to figure out the notes of it. And then I figured out the chords of it. And I found out that I actually knew how to play some chords at 5 and 6 years old. And that wasn't the beginning of my musical journey because I stopped playing from that time until for about 10 years. I never really did mess around with it. But my first memory of it was I was 5 years old, playing and making melodies in the house with the piano.
So what made you you got right into it at the age of 5 and you said you took a break. What led to that?
Well, at that time, it wasn't encouraged for me to play piano. You know, my mom wasn't so enthused about me being a musician.
Really?
My mom was, we're going to get educated. We're going to push education first. We're going to do all of this stuff. We're going to get these grades right.
I got you.
And then once I got a little older, my father said, he put me on a 3-day shut-in when I was 16 years old. And that's when everything that was already in me, God started to cultivate that gift in me in my teenage years. So even though I stopped at 5, the gift never went anywhere.
Absolutely not. Because once it's in you, it's in you.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we played a clip of the Fellowship Mass Choir singing one of their classic records. And you guys are celebrating your 30th anniversary.
Yes.
So first, congratulations on that. That's a major accomplishment.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. But do you have any memories that you can share from the first recording of the New York
Oh,
Fellowship Mass Choir?
boy. Yes. The first recording, which started the 30 years, was back in 93. It was called Come Thou Almighty King.
Yes, sir. Every choir in New York was singing that song.
Every choir in New York, across the country, halfway around the world.
Absolutely.
And what my father did that nobody had ever done before him, he put together all of the different choirs in New York. And if you ever watch the video, there's about 500 choir members in there, and they all have on their own different robes.
Yes.
Different color robes, and all of this stuff is going on. And it was so amazing. Just the rehearsals preparing for that. Because we did our rehearsals here at Grace, and we seat about 400 people here. Every rehearsal was packed out.
Wow.
And we had Bishop Hezekiah Walker, Pastor Donnie McClurkin, Eric McDaniel, Bishop Albert Jameson, Bishop Figueroa, James Hall, Kevin Bond, Bonnie Felder, you name it. They was a part of this live recording. And that did something for New York, because a lot of times they say, oh, New York can't get together and do nothing. My father proved them wrong.
He did.
And we all got together and we did this project, and it was just amazing. And that was in 1993. So we decided every 10 years, we'll do a big choir like that. And we just did it again in 2023. And that's the record that's coming out soon.
Awesome. So we're gonna talk about the single in a second, but I gotta ask you before we do that, I gotta ask you a tough question.
Okay.
Go ahead of time. All right. I want you to put together your dream band of all-time greatest New York musicians, and it can't be your family.
Ooh, it can't be my family. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna give you your instruments. You got keys. You got bass, organ, aux, and drums.
Oh, no guitar.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Lead and bass.
All right.
Lead and bass.
Got you. Woo, boy.
I told you it's tough. All time. So if you had to pick one for each instrument,
I can't pick my father. So on organ, I'm gonna go with Charles Minor.
I'm not mad at that.
I'll go with Charles Minor on organ. On bass, I'm going with Jeffrey White.
You know what's crazy? I didn't even know. Reggie Parker put me on to him playing bass. I didn't even know he played bass. I know him from playing the organ.
Oh, yes. He can play the bass, man. That's him on all of those hits. Trouble Don't Last Always.
Wow.
That's Reggie. That's Jeffrey White.
Wow.
I'm going to go with a guy named Willard Meeks.
Okay. I heard that. I've heard that name.
On alt, I got to go with my dude. Rob Stevens.
Okay. What's your guitars?
My bass, well, I did bass. My guitar player is going to be Willie Brown.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
And my drummer?
This is tough.
I got to go with my boy, Eddie Haywood.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
I got to go with Eddie Haywood. And that's just my pieces there.
Yeah. And you can't go wrong because one thing we know about New York musicians is there's high quality musicians everywhere. So it's tough to pick just one. I just thought it was a
Matter
fun.
of fact, let me change Rob Stevens out
Uh-oh.
for Nate McNair.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Let me get Nate McNair in there.
Yeah, because
That'll
there's
do it.
arcs on them Love Fellowship records.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir. I'm not mad at that at all. And Charles Minor's introduction to My Hope Is Built,
Ain't that something?
bruh, he went to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not mad at that one at all. All right, we're gonna get into the single right on the other side of this quick break. Be right back.
Thing on? Can you see me out there? All right, bet. Hey everyone, Day here, CEO of Day's Palette, and I am beyond thrilled to share some exciting news with you all about the next chapter for Day's Palette. What began as a makeup artistry has grown into something much deeper, a reflection of God-given purpose. When I sat and really thought about the deeper meaning behind Day's Palette, I saw it as my palette, and each color on my palette represents all the many talents that God has blessed me with. While a major part of my palette is still enhancing the beauty that already exists through makeup and hair artistry, this is an extension of that mission. But it's not just for me. We all have a palette of gifts designed to glorify Him. So for my current and future clients, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. You can breathe. Today, I am excited to announce the launch of Day's Palette apparel and accessories. This extension is more than just fashion, it's a message. Each piece is created to encourage you to reflect on your own gifts, your palette, and how you can use them to help strengthen God's kingdom. It's time to embrace our God-given gifts and bring color, light, and purpose to the world. Thank you in advance for all of your support. Stay tuned for daily updates, and I cannot wait for you to see what we have in store on this new journey at Day's Palette.
All right, so the store goes live on February the 1st, and if you use the code AKVS7, you will save 5% on your order. So go get that Day's Palette accessories and apparel. All right, we are back with Pastor David Wright. He has a new single out with the New York Fellowship Mass Choir. His name is Jesus. So I listened to the single, Pastor, and I got some Doobie Power vibes towards the end of it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Give me the inspiration and the backstory on how the song was created.
Well, this song, I always wanted to do a song to follow up my father's song, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
I said, this is Jesus, Jesus, Jesus 2.0.
Yes.
That's
exactly what we've been calling it.
Gotcha.
And I wanted to do something that would be long lasting because people are still singing Jesus, Jesus, Jesus all over the world.
Absolutely.
For the past 20 years since Hurricane Katrina. And every time there's a tragedy, there's a song that brings us out of it. So what I'll ask God to do, give me a song that will bring us out of the things that we're dealing with now. So many different things have been going on in our world, in our politics, in our country. And people are going, they're going further and further away from the name of Jesus. They're saying, God, our Father. They're saying the man upstairs. They say the big guy.
Yep, him.
But the Bible says, I have given him a name above all names. That name is Jesus. So I believe when we go back to calling on the name of Jesus, then we're going to start to see miracles, signs, and wonders that will shape and shift this whole landscape that we're in right now. Yeah. And that's why, we came up with that song. And then Healer, his name is Jesus. He is my healer. He is my savior. All of these different things. And I believe this song is going to be around for a while.
No, anytime that you're using Jesus in your song and calling on his name, it's going to cause something to happen, because that's what happens when you call on his name. So I think it's a great great message, great music. Man, talk about your collaborators. Shout out your collaborators on the music,
Oh
and
yeah,
tell me how it came together on the production side.
yeah. I write all of my songs, just me at a piano somewhere, and God has always given me songs, and it's wonderful that I have my brothers with me. My brother Dwayne, who's a great bass player.
Oh yeah,
He is good because I'll play a chord and I'll do this, and he knows exactly where I'm going before I even get there. So he helps with my production, and then my brother Derek as well is an awesome producer. And I have my son Jai is actually playing drums on this record, and I thank God for that, because the foundation is the music. It has always been the music with the Wrights, because my father was a musician.
absolutely.
So it was never the song and then the music. It was always the music and then the song. So we, as musicians, we're very in tune with our musical ear. And the collab with the choir, I thank God for the choir. It's about 50 voices in the choir. And on this particular song, God bless him, he's gone home to be with the Lord. But Demetrius Griffin, when I wrote this song, I had him in mind.
Mm.
And oh my Lord, he did
He's a good
what he
singer.
does. He's
Yes,
one of the greatest vocalists that we've ever had in New York City. And on this record, we collab with so many others. My good friend, my sister Lillian Lloyd, who had previously been with all of Ricky Dillard's hits.
yes,
And then also one of the mothers of I call her Auntie, Doreen Figueroa,
yes,
who can
indeed.
sing anything.
Anything.
And her daughter, Anisha Figueroa, they're on the same song. And then my brother, Jason Hendrickson, we collabed with him as well. And Jason Hendrickson is known as a drummer, but he is somebody's songwriter and singer now.
Absolutely. He's a producer.
Do all of that stuff.
Yes.
And then Renee Cradle, who I call her the greatest soprano in the world. Renee Cradle, and Dr. Kevin Bond, who can narrate any song.
Absolutely. He'll set it
And
up.
yeah, and it's going to be a great project. I can't wait till the world hears this music.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to touch back on your family dynamic in terms of your musical dynamic for a second. How did you guys choose your instruments? Because it seems like everybody has, you got bass, you got drums, you got keys. Did you guys ever like battle over instruments or anything like that?
Absolutely. Well, because it was 5 boys. My oldest brother, he passed on about 5 years ago. So it's always been Danny, Donnie, Davey, Derek, and Dwayne, the 5 Ds.
Mm-hmm.
We all started out on drums.
Well, that's the foundation.
All of us.
Yes.
So my brother Donnie, he was a great drummer. He's on all of those old projects that you will hear my father, Leaning on Everlasting Arms and Come Thou Mighty King, and Been There, Done That. That's Donnie on the drums. And then I started to play drums as well. And what stopped me from playing drums was my little brother, Derek, when he started playing. And I looked at what this boy was doing at 7 and 8 years old, 9, 10. I said, you know what? I'm going to do something different. Because Derek is known, even in the secular world, as one of the top drummers in the world. He's on tour right now with Adele.
Okay.
So he's known all over the world as one of the great touring drummers. So I left drums to Donnie and Derek, and I went over to the keys. And I played bass a little bit, but when I went to the keys, then Dwayne, who was also playing drums, he said, I want to play bass. Ain't nobody playing bass. So we decided to play what anybody else wasn't playing.
Got
We
it.
knew we had no chance to play drums no more with Donnie and Derek playing.
Got it.
And I said, I can even let me try on out with the organ, and then Dwayne grabbed a hold of the bass, and within a year of Dwayne grabbing the bass, he had mastered it.
Wow.
He was taught by Reggie Young and
Yeah.
Vincent Wilson.
Legend.
Yeah. So that's how we gravitated to our instrument. We all play multiple instruments, but we specialize in one.
Got it. So, before we get out of here, we was talking backstage. We're both sports guys, so we gotta mix a little sports talk in here.
Oh,
Me and you
hallelujah.
do. You know what I'm saying? Our Knicks are playing right now.
Yes, they are.
Nuggets. So I'm pretty sure I saw on social media that you do some sports talk as well. So talk to me, tell me, are our Knicks gonna make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year?
The Knicks are definitely going to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, without a doubt. I don't know who we're going to play. Either we're going to play Cleveland or we're going to play the Celtics. And I do have a sports show with some co-hosts every Tuesday night on Facebook Live, and we have our podcast. And I do my show only once a month now, my personal show. But the Knicks are definitely going there because we're set up for it. We got Karl Anthony Towns, who is playing at an MVP level. We got Jalen Brunson. This is the first time in 50 years that the Knicks have had two starters in the All-Star game. And this is just our year. It's lined up for us to just take it this year. And the basketball curse has been broken because the New York Liberty won the championship.
Huh?
And that broke the curse of Madison Square Garden, New York City basketball. So the Knicks going to win the champ. I'm going out on a limb and say we going to the finals this year.
I like it. So listen, because we have a mutual friend that the spirit led him astray. He's a Celtics fan and lives in Brooklyn, which you know what we're talking about.
You talking about that Henderson?
Yes. We're yet praying for his deliverance.
I'm gonna tell you about him. I have a picture, and I'm gonna post this. Since you said that, I'm gonna post this picture tonight with Jason Hendrickson with a Knick hat on.
Come on.
He's a hurt Knick fan. That's all it is. He's a Knick fan that has been hurt. You can get hurt by your team, but he's gonna come back.
Yeah, you gotta let that go. You still holding on to the fact that Mark Jackson is, he didn't get treated well. Look, man, Ross Strickland is my uncle. I'm still a Knicks fan.
Wow.
So come on home.
There you go.
Come on home. Don't fight it.
Come on home. We forgive us. We forgive the James Dolan years and all of that stuff, and the years of Isaiah Thomas and Phil Jackson. Come on home. This is the next year. Everybody's rounding up and coming back to the orange and blue skies.
That's it. It's orange and blue skies. We are ready. And here's the crazy thing is Mitchell Robinson isn't even back yet.
Mitchell ain't even back yet. And he's a defensive player. Before he got hurt, he was up for defensive player of the year.
Exactly. So we haven't even seen our full roster at its full capacity.
Absolutely.
So, sky's the limit for us. We just got to stay healthy. And Tibbs just got to make sure he monitors those minutes. That's my only concern. Tibbs, don't run these guys into the ground. Make sure these guys' legs are fresh going into the playoffs.
Yes, because he tends to do that.
Yes.
And I think he had no choice because we were, some injuries and stuff. But I don't want to get to the playoff and then we ain't got no gas.
Right. Because it's a marathon. You got to get through these series and make sure everybody.
I truly believe this is our year.
I'm going to believe with you. We're going to touch and agree virtually.
Oh, yes, God.
All right. So listen, as we get ready to wrap up, you said got the project that's coming.
Yes, it should be out first week of March.
So that's what's next. And tell my audience how they can connect with you and follow you on social media.
Yes, you can follow me on Facebook at David Wright. Just put in David Wright. You can also follow me on Instagram, Pastor BW3. And you can follow me on X. It's no longer Twitter.
Right.
You can go there at Pastor DW3 as well. And if you want to get in touch with me personally, you can always email me at pastordave14@gmail.com. Now, when you follow me on social media, you're going to get a lot of things. You're going to get laughter, you're going to get music, and you're going to get a word. But I promise you, it's going to be the best follow you ever had.
There you go. And are you still doing the loose hair apparel?
Absolutely. We're still doing the loose
Yeah,
hair.
shout that out.
Loose hair is what loose hair is something that I used to always hear my mother and my grandmother and my father say,
That's
old
old school
school
church.
saints.
Yes,
When
sir.
something wasn't right and it
Loose
didn't
hair.
feel right with God,
That's
they would
it.
holler loose hair.
Yes, sir.
And that's an old school church saying. So a lot of the posts that I make, it would say loose hair, and we have loose hair merchandise. We have hats and we have shirts. So you hit me up on social media, let me know what size you want, and I'll send it to you. And we'll discuss that when you hit me on a personal note. And I'll let you know how much it is and how much we'll send it out to you. Because this world is going through a lot of loose hair moments.
Especially on social media, Lord have
God,
mercy.
yes.
All right, well, listen, Pastor Man, appreciate a few minutes of your time. All the best with the project and everything that you have going on. And you know your music has a home here on the Any Key Video Show.
I appreciate you, man. And if anybody's ever in Brooklyn, join me at Grace Tabernacle, 1745 Pacific Street, Brooklyn, New York, every Sunday at 12 noon. And coming soon, our new location in Berlin, New Jersey, with Life Impact Worship Center, every Sunday at 5 p.m.
All right. Y'all heard it here. Make sure y'all go get that Lucid gear. Make sure you download, stream, buy the new single, get the project when it comes out, and let's keep supporting Kingdom Music. All right, man. Thanks for being on Any Key Video Show.
God bless you, man. Thank you.
Likewise. Take care.
Peace.
All right, that was David Wright. And that's going to be it for this episode of the Any Key Video Show. I want to thank Pastor for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, or like your brands and services to be advertised and promoted on the show, or if you want your video to be featured on the show, send an email to KEbnMusicPub@gmail.com. Again, that's KEbnMusicPub@gmail.com. Subscribe to the Minds of Creativity YouTube channel, which is part of the All Sports, All Plays network, so you can check out the rest of the content and so you can get the alert when new episodes are available. You can become a patron on our Patreon page. Just go to patreon.com/ANYKENY to get exclusive access to new content and free show merchandise. Or you can order your merchandise at the online store, which is KANMcollective.threadless.com. Again, that's KANMcollective.threadless.com. Shout out to all my patrons and people who have ordered merchandise. Appreciate your support. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Coach_ANYKENY on X, TikTok, and Instagram, and on my Facebook music page, Any Key Music, which is spelled capital ANY, capital KE, lowercase b, lowercase n, and capital Y. So until next time, be positive on purpose.